Hello guys, so welcome back to this new video, and I have brought this design breakdown and how to design something like this with grunge and greens you can see, and different colors used on this one. And here are the designs, recent designs I have made using this method. You can see. So let's break it down for you. So let's start with the main. So you can see I have created many different folders for every different elements or images that I have used. For the car, I have created this folder, and I will explain a bit by bit for everything. So let's start with the main figures. So I just brought this three images and removed the backgrounds and attached them together. Then if we close this, you can see this is how the image was, and I just use a soft round brush which you can use to uh, erase the bottom or side of the images and make it smoother. So for let's see this one. So you can see this is the main image which was intact and with no other changes made to this. Then I just duplicated it by Control G, and then I use shadows and highlights. So you can see the shadows and highlights that I have used and the numbers. You can copy this, or you can use different shadows and depending on your images. So let's enable this, and you can see now it is much lighter, and this places where the image is a bit dark and I have brought out the light. So this one is the source. Then the second image, you can see the same thing with this one too. You can see the hairs and the arms below here around this. Then I have just duplicated and used shadows and highlight to bring out this better and make it look better. And this is the main image you can see. So same thing with this one too. This is the main image, and then I have made a copy and used shadows and highlights also. This will be the main image. Then what we have here, let's see. I have a adjustment layer which includes a level adjustment uh, level options, which I have increased a bit to around 1.33. Then I have used a half tone which is set on overlay, and the opacity is around 13%. So we don't have to do the 100% we don't have to go with half tone with the 100%. We can just adjust it depending on our graphics. Then we will switch on this processing image. So you can see this is the main window for the processing. We are using here two copies of green which are set to. So how to make greens I will teach you. So you will go, so you can see the green. Let's make a new one for you guys. So we go to solid layer, set this to the middle gray area. I don't want this mask. Then convert it to smart filters to make further changes in future if you need. Then go to here, then uh, move the green slider to up on 100%, and then roughness to around 74 75. Then this will be the green. that is created. Then we will just choose the blending option to overlay, and then you can play with the opacity and make it low, make the opacity lower or more higher. Also, after this, if you want to make the grain a bigger size, like you can see here, this is the main grain which is we are using. So you can just do it as rasterize this layer, go to convert in smart filters and blur. Then you can increase the size by 2 pixels and the size will increase. So you can just make the copy. So this is how you create the green. Then you can just copy it multiple times to bring out more details. Like you can see here, it will bring out more details, but we don't want that much detail right now. So we'll just go with normal greens, and the opacity is set to around 68% on this one and 82% on this one. You can see it's just the same green image. Then the threshold we have used, which is set to around 127. Then this is the processing, and this will be the adjustment, and nothing else. You don't need anything else right after this. After this, you just go to your main images and bring out more elements to add to your design. So I brought out this car, which which I use the same technique which I showed you with all the other images. So here is the main image. Then here is the image that we have edited using shadows and highlights. Then just a little bit of more to the highlights, and the highlights I have increased here to 90%. 90% you can see. And this layer is just a drop shadow set to white, and to create this outline you can see around the car. So this will be the car. Then we brought a mountain with Hollywood sign on it, and let's switch off this too. So you can see this is a mountain which I brought, and if you disable this you can see how big it was. And I used the image which I found on Unsplash to paint and to use this in my graphics. Then I brought some trees which are just palm trees. You can find any palm trees images on Unsplash or Pixels. Then just a sky background to make it better, and to add a sky on top of everything on the mountain, and just some more refining on using the softer brown brush. So you can just use a soft round brush for this and just paint around here and here to refine it furthermore. So here is how you refine it. You have always, if you are just removing the images or just erasing some parts of the images, always use this soft round brush to make the graphics better and to make it smoother when you will start switch on the adjustment and processing here. So you can it's visible now. This will be our graphics, and you can the green and the shadows that are coming together. Then I have just used a normal text, once upon a time in Hollywood. Then let's do the coloring. So we will go we will let's do it from start. So you just have to choose a color, then control I to invert it, and then put it in in a folder, then choose blending option mode to multiply. Then you will have to take a crunch brush. You can see a brush like this, crunch brush, which whose opacity and hardness is, you can't change that, just size, and it's a crunch brush. Then you will just go here and just start painting the details. So like this, you just paint it out where you want to. And even after that, you can change the color. If you don't want the red, you can always make something better, changing the colors, and you can make different designs using different colors. So this is how the color the graphics which you have created. Then for skin tone, we can choose around something here, then zoom it and start painting this skin, which you can see. You can always switch on the black and white color through by using X key on your keyboard. So I switched to black to erase this color from her eyes, and you can always erase color from here. So this is how you can color the image. So when all the colors are done, you will see something which will look like this, but we'll have to add a highlight layer for this to make it look something like this. So you can see the highlights in his face and in her face. It makes the graphics it gives the graphics a little more depth. So let's see how you create the highlights. So we'll switch on the main, then we will go to processing, switch on, and you just have to switch, copy and or make a new threshold layer and just slide it to further on the right, when where you can see all the whites or you can see less details. Then just grab this and this folder and do Control Shift Alt and E. That will create this. Then you will just have to take this magic wand and select the black and make a layer mask. Then Control I to invert it and send it to the top. Then just switch off this just switch off the other threshold that you created, and you can see now that you have created this highlight layer by using that, and it will give a much more depth to the graphics. And even you can always change the color. If you want to change it to something else, you can go to color overlay, set it to normal, and you can do is make it something like much more similar to what you are using. If you don't want to use white, you can even go for like something like cream color. And then when you are ready, you can just grab all the folders and highlights Then you do the Control Shift Alt and E again to merge all the layers together, and this your graphics will be ready. Then you will just have to remove the black color from this, and for that you have to go to color range, select shadows and range and fuzziness to 0, invert, and you can see the colors that we are selecting, and just create a layer mask. And here your graphics is ready to be printed. So please comment and like and share and subscribe, and let me know if you have any problem. You can reach out to me on my Instagram too, and please comment and share my videos so I can make more and more of such content. Thank you so much.